On the news tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari reaffirms position on working with people of proven integrity in its quest for national development. Governor Ibikunle Amosun holds meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari behind closed doors. Federal government records 32.26 trillion naira trade value in 2018. U.S. House of Representatives Committee seeks documents to prove President Trump's abuse of power. As the 2019 general elections continues, let's all be magnanimous in victory and gallant in defeats. A very good evening to you, and thank you for watching Ogun State Television. Abeokuta. My name is Idowu Fabajo. President Muhammadu Buhari has reaffirmed position on working with people of proven integrity in its quest for national development. Governor Ibikunle Amosun holds meeting with him. The president stated this at a dinner organized by the 2019 Women and Youth Presidential Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team, chaired by the wife of the president, in appreciation of the role in the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. This is the gathering of the representatives of the Nigerian women and youth from all parts of the country who worked very hard for the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari and the All Progressives Congress in the just concluded February general elections. In appreciation to the role they played towards his re-election, the president promised Nigerians that he would continue to build on the existing legacies in shaping the economy and political landscape of this country to exit corruption, adding that he would not disappoint them.
Please, I assure you that I will not disappoint you. Our objectives are the same. We are to build this country so that your generation, the younger ones now, and the future generations will have a country that they can be proud of.
That his administration would not deviate from its priority of building all sectors of the economy, especially power, agriculture, health, women and youth development, and security.
And Nigerians will know the difference. The three fundamental issues I campaigned on, all the APC campaigned on security, economy, and fighting corruption. We have made some progress, but I will still update you. Those from the Northeast know that we made substantial progress in our first promise of security.
The wife of the president, who was overwhelmed with the support of Nigerians for his victory, commended their doggedness towards the success of the APC government. She expressed optimism that the new APC government will be all-inclusive, especially for women, youth, and other vulnerable groups.
This special moment is not only for us, but for all Nigerians. This is clear indication that Nigerians came out en masse to confirm their choice of leader. That is, a leader that believes in building the bridge between the poor and the rich. Also, it reaffirmed their choice for honesty, integrity, as well as their belief in the change mantra of this administration. It is all believed that the next level of change will impact positively on the lives of Nigerians.
I'd like to encourage us all to fasten our seatbelts because we are assured by the special grace of God that we are going to the next level.
The Chairman Central Working Committee of the Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team and the former Lagos State Military Administrator Muhammadu Buba Marua and other speakers applauded the unwavering support of all and sundry for his victory, urging all Nigerians to remain key stakeholders in moving the country forward. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has confirmed that he will neither be gentle nor sentimental in the execution of his renewed mandate aimed at taking Nigeria to the next level. The president gave the hint while receiving members of the Federal Executive Council and the leadership of the nation's public service on a congratulatory visit. The secretary to the government, Boss Mustafa, who led the ministers and the leadership of the public service on the visit, told the president that the renewal of his mandate by majority of the votes cast was not only well deserved, but indeed a referendum of honesty on integrity, uprightness, and sincerity.
Your Excellency, the change you promised 4 years ago to put Nigeria economy on a sustainable development path, restore security of lives and property, and to fight corruption has laid the firm foundation for growth. Your commitment, dedication, and purposeful leadership has indeed become the springboard that has taken us to the next level.
The SGF expressed their conviction that the president's re-election will deepen ongoing reforms aimed at delivering good governance and effective service delivery to Nigerians.
With millions of Nigerians that have re-elected you, we pledge our loyalty to Your Excellency and support to the government, and assure you that we shall facilitate the creation of an enabling environment for sustainable development of our nation. Indeed, our best years are still ahead of us as a nation. We salute your courage, firmness, and fairness.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari this Sunday granted audience to the governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun. Details of their discussion held behind closed doors were not made public. Report has it that the meeting is taking place barely 2 days after the governor's suspension by the National Working Committee of the APC for alleged anti-party activities.
I'm happy to see him as always. Well, we are all happy. We are in this happy mood because he has just won another term of 4 years where he will continue to serve the good people of Nigeria. So that's why I'm here. What you are asking for on the suspension, my comment will be no comment, because I've learned that when you want to achieve a purpose, it must be eyes on the ball, no distraction. There will be plenty time to talk. There will be plenty time for talking. Now is the time to continue with what we are doing, campaigning. We will talk after the election. So let me use this opportunity to thank all Nigerians and to thank our people in Ogun State. And I want to thank in particular those from Ogun Central Senatorial District who voted me to serve them again in the Senate. I really cannot thank you enough. But I pray that come next Saturday, all of you will come out and vote.
Individual rights to freedom of expression, opinions, among others, without interference from those in position of authority are factors responsible for effective democratic setting in any given society. Zonal Director of Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria FRCN Southwest Zonal Office, Alhaji Mohammed Bello, stated this at the presentation of manifestos by gubernatorial candidates in Ogun State. The debate took place at an event center in Abeokuta. Peter Falomo reports.
The organized debate by the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria for gubernatorial candidates in Ogun State, tagged The Big Debate, was attended by 7 political parties. In his welcome address, the Zonal Director, FRCN Southwest Zonal Office, Alhaji Mohammed Bello, says freedom of political debate remains core concept in a democratic society.
Freedom of political debate means exercising the right to discuss political matters in the public or in the media. If voters are to make informed choices,
To the atomic. All right, we have to go on a break now, and when we return, we bring you more news and report. Please don't go away.
Data. We can't live without it. Share it. Impress with it. Borrow it. Sell with it.
Up here, calm down, breathe.
Celebrate with it. Breathe easy, knowing that with Glow, data is oxygen.
Thank you for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, you're watching the main news on OJTV. The world at large on the 3rd of March of every year celebrates the wildlife for its intrinsic value to the ecology and economy. Elizabeth Esson gives details on this year's celebration, which has as a theme, Life Below Water for People and Plant. Our report.
Animals and plants that live in the wild have an intrinsic value and contribute to the ecological, genetic, social, economic, scientific, educational, cultural, recreational, and aesthetic aspects of human well-being and sustainable development. World Wildlife Day is an opportunity to celebrate the many beautiful and various forms of wild fauna and flora, and to raise awareness of the multitude of benefits that conservation provides to people.
You can use your wildlife to know how to get medicine from plants and animals, to know how they breed and how they survive, so that you can use it to also help human beings. Because you see, in nature, everything are interrelated with one another.
The theme for this year's Wildlife Day, Life Below Water for People and Planet, which closely aligns with this goal, with a specific focus on the conservation and sustainable use of marine wildlife.
Every year, the world sees that people must focus their attention on wildlife. What do this wildlife look like? What are the benefits they offer us as human beings? How can we develop them for tourism? how can we develop them to have animals that we can get extracts from to make some medicinal uses of them? Then what animals can we also be using for food?
There is need for government and Nigerians to embrace the importance of wildlife to the economic and socio-cultural development of the country.
We are getting there gradually. There have been different awareness all around the country, different crusades everywhere to create more, to bring people to the consciousness of the fact that wildlife is not just for slaughter. Wildlife we need to keep our wildlife. We need to be able to nurse and care for what we have, just because this wildlife, they are also very important for tourism. A lot of people want to come and see the species that we have. I can tell some white men came, they saw some agama lizards going around, they stopped by to snap pictures. Now, a Nigerian will see that and pick up a stone, and then you want to hit the animal. So, these people come here, they see our species, they appreciate the species we have. What we have as a result of the geographical location differs from the kind of species they have in that place. So when they come, they are marveled, and they really want to appreciate what we have here. But if we don't appreciate it ourselves, then it's not going to be easy having.
We are in now. It's a way of helping the general populace to know what these animals look like. And that is why we have brought them close to people themselves. Many people will not know what an ostrich looks like. But when you have a park like this, then people can come and study it. They can come and look at it.
The capacity of life below water to provide services is severely impacted as our planet's oceans and the species that live within it are under assault from an onslaught of threats. These threats include unsustainable fishing and other marine species extraction practices, climate change, marine pollution, and habitat destruction, which have strong impacts on the lives and livelihood of those who depend on marine ecosystem services, particularly women and men in coastal communities. Elizabeth Esson, OGTV News.
We now go back to the big debate by Paramount FM, individual rights to freedom of expression, opinions among others, without interference from those in position of authority, are factors responsible for the effective democratic setting in any given society. Zonal Director, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, Southwest Zonal Office, Alhaji Muhammad Bello stated this at the presentation of manifestos by gubernatorial candidates in Ogun State. The debate took place at an event center in Abeokuta. Peter Falomo reports.
The organized debate by the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria for gubernatorial candidates in Ogun State, tagged the Big Debate, was attended by 7 political parties. In his welcome address, the Zonal Director, FRCN, Southwest Zonal Office, Alhaji Muhammad Bello says, freedom of political debate remains core concept in a democratic society.
Freedom of political debate means exercising the right to discuss political matters in the public or in the media. If voters are to make informed choices at the polling stations, an active exercise of freedom of expression is very essential.
While reflecting on the political journey of the state in the last 42 years of its creation, the gubernatorial candidates of Africa Action Congress, Alliance for Democracy, Alliance for New Nigeria, All Progressives Congress, Social Democratic Party, United Democratic Party, and Yes Electorate's Solidarity speak on their vision for the people of the Gateway State if given the opportunity to govern the state.
We are bringing a new education system. We want to have a free education in Ogun State. We want our children and all the scholars between the primary and the secondary class to have a very good education, and a free meal is possible. We've checked Ogun State budget. We know we can afford it.
We want to see a self-sustaining state in environment, in human indices, in infrastructure, and also in fiscal sustainability year on year. And how we intend to achieve that is to return those things that made us first then: free education, free healthcare, and then revamp and fix our infrastructure.
state into the wealthiest state in Nigeria by 2025. And the wealth that I speak of will be measured by 3 indices. One is revenue, the second one is the quality of human capital, and the third is well-being. Therefore, the second lever that will drive productivity is the industrialization of Ogun State along the lines of our natural resources.
Be it health, be it infrastructure, be it education, whatever it is that we have to do, anchors on 3 legs. Leg 1 is the leg of economic development. The second leg is the leg of employment generation. The last leg is the leg of good governance.
When we're talking about education, we have it in our book that every secondary school child that leaves school must go to a technical school. After technical school, you learn one word or the other when you can use to even finance yourself when you are in higher institution.
We're going to do well in our ministries as civil servants. We're going to do well in our schools as students. And from agriculture, I will go to health. And before I do anything for a man, I'm a lady, I have to back women.
Asked about the concept of transparency in governance, the candidate said open office policy, due process, zero tolerance for corruption, equal participation of the people, as well as effective local government participation will be observed. The gubernatorial candidates in unison added that there will be positions for special people in their administration should their party be voted in. Peter Falomo, OGTV News.
Marriage to many people is a sacred, legal, and binding union of 2 people in agreement to joining through life as partners in personal relationship in the foundation of family as a fundamental unit of the society. It may, however, connote other reasons to several others in their beliefs in accordance with the culture and norms of such society in the global world. In this report, OGTV News x-rays the point at which such union could experience inevitable separation by way of 7 avoidable termination of life due to domestic violence and other related occurrences. Report now.
Successful marriage in any form of joining according to individual belief or religion adds up for couples who live together in a bond of love for a lifetime. In addition, such union is equally associated with families that produce happier children into a stable society with less crime and other social problems in agreeable definitions to the generality of the people. It is also of note that marriage is accompanied by uncountable joy as observed by those who spoke with OGTV News.
So when the marriage is working, the ratio of progress, the rate at which there will be progress in the life of both the man and the woman will be high. That's the first joy. And you cannot live life alone. You need a companion. You need somebody to share your mind with. Even psychologically, you need somebody you pour your mind. You pour everything that is bothering you. So, because a broken home affects society seriously. Many of these crises, vices in our society among the youth, 70% is as a result of broken home.
Beyond oral confession and consent of marital vows, how then can a true love between the couple be described?
In marriage, you don't expect smoothness always. That is why nowhere we have word and opposite. We have nikai, that is marriage. We have talak, that is divorce. Yes, if you marry today, something that is good today, tomorrow, when you look at it, it is not good. That is why you see couples today, they are laughing, they are eating together, dancing together, and tomorrow, if care is not taken, they are beating each other.
They also submit that marriage may indeed get tougher for some couples as a result of a number of reasons, including domestic violence, of which may lead to an inevitable separation.
For me, for the sake of peace, if the marriage is not working and it has come to violence of either party not being able to control his or her anger. I think both of them should be separated for a while.
In the past, we do say that, okay, no matter what, try to still endure. But when it's turning to violence, I think it's something that needs to be really considered. But if it's turning to violence, you have to save the life first. If life is saved, then you can think of some other thing.
Although it will affect the children, fine. By the upbringing of children, it will also affect the society, fine. But if it doesn't take place at that time, it can lead to death of one of the two.
Other people say sometimes the union of marriage as a concept may not fit in with the expectations they have for their lives. Hence, their support and belief to an alternative lifestyle in staying single. Peter Falomo, OGTV News.
The National Bureau of Statistics said the country recorded a total trade value of 32.26 trillion naira year-on-year in 2018, representing 39.3% increase over the corresponding period in 2017. The trade value for 2017 stood at 23.16 trillion. The NBS said this in foreign trade in goods statistics for the fourth quarter of 2018 posted on its website. The Bureau said the volume of total merchandise trade in 2018 was the highest recorded since 2014, nearly double pre-recession levels. The Bureau said during the fourth quarter of 2018, total merchandise trade at 8.60 trillion naira compared to its value of 9.06 trillion naira recorded in the third quarter of the year. Non-oil products accounted for 4.6% of total exports, while other oil products accounted for 11.2% of total exports in the quarter under review. A major Nigerian oil pipeline has exploded, local police said on Sunday, forcing nearby residents to flee and raising suspicions of possible sabotage. The NIMBE Greek trunk pipeline runs from an oil terminal in Bonin to the state of Bayelsa with capacity of 150,000 barrels per day. We have not been officially briefed on the incident, but it occurred. Bayelsa State Police spokesman has seen him, but one told media no lives were lost as a result of the explosion, and we can't confirm if it was an attack by militants or an equipment failure unless the people managing the facility go there to determine the cause, he said. The explosion could also be the result of a criminal act after the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. During his first mandate, a group called the Niger Delta Avengers (NDA) had claimed several attacks on oil infrastructure. A court in Nigeria has condemned as illegal and unconstitutional the arrest and deportation of Cameroonian separatists who had applied for asylum in Nigeria. The lawyers representing them said on Sunday. In January 2018, Nigeria arrested and deported 47 Anglophone separatists who had fled Cameroon following a crackdown by the authorities. The move was denounced by UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, which said most of them had fled asylum claims and accused Nigeria of breaching international agreements. Consequently, Justice Chukere declared the deportation of the applicants illegal and unconstitutional, awarded to each of them, and ordered the federal government to ensure that they are brought back to Nigeria forthwith. At the hearing, the defense lawyer argued that the arrest and detention of refugees and asylum seekers constituted a breach of Nigeria's constitution and the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The judge agreed, saying the expulsion of the group was in utter violation of legal obligations which ban Nigeria from expelling or deporting refugees from the country. Away from the shores of the country now, students in Nigeria have been holding fresh protests against President Abdulaziz Bouteflika plans to run for a fifth term in office. The 82-year-old president has until midnight to register for the elections in April. Police have been guarding the offices of the Constitutional Council in the capital lodges where candidates submit their files. Mr. Bouteflika said last month that he would run, sparking rare protests. He has rarely been seen in public since suffering a stroke in 2013 and currently undergoing medical checks in Switzerland. He does not have to be physically present to register his candidacy. A committee of the U.S. House of Representatives is seeking documents alleging obstruction of justice, corruption, and abuse of power by President Donald Trump and his aides. Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler told reporters that 60 individuals and entities would be receiving subpoenas from Monday. Mr. Andler said he believed Mr. Trump had obstructed justice, but any impeachment move would depend on the result of the inquiry. President Trump has consistently denied any wrongdoing and accused Democrats of a witch hunt. On Saturday, he launched a furious attack on Special Counsel Robert Mueller, railing against the inquiry is leading into alleged collusion between his campaign and Russia. Mr. Mueller is expected to hand in his report to the Attorney General shortly. The daughters band of Shama Begum, who joined the Islamic State group in Syria in 2015, aged 15, has said he wants her to return to the Netherlands with him. Yago Reid and MS Belgium married days after she arrived inside Islamic State territory. He admitted fighting for the group, but says he now wants to return home with his wife and their newborn son. Mr. Reid, 27, is being held in a Kurdish detention center in northeastern Syria. He faces a 6-year jail term for joining a terror organization if he returns to the Netherlands. And now into the world of sport, Kamaru Usman has become the first African fighter to win an Ultimate Fighting Championship UFC title. He won the mixed martial arts MMA bout against American Tyron Woodley. The fighter, known as the Nigerian Nightmare, dominated the Las Vegas contest for the world welterweight title. The UFC is the biggest competition in MMA, where competitors combine boxing, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and other disciplines while fighting in an octagonal angle. He extended his winning streak to 14 and maintained his unbeaten record in the UFC. Still in the world of sport, Enugu Rangers' hopes of progressing into the knockout round of the CAF Confederation Cup suffered a huge setback following a 2-0 home loss to Tunisia's Etiole du Sahel at the Unandia Zikwe Enugu on Sunday. The Flying Antelopes who lost 2-1 to the visitors in the reverse fixture last Sunday were hoping to gain revenge in the contest, but instead fell to another agonizing defeat. Merchant Nahechi put the North Africans ahead in the 19th minute after warding off the threat of the home team in the opening minutes of the game. Rangers fell further behind in the 69th minute after Isaac Light conceded a penalty following a rash tackle in the box. Etoile du Sahel moved to top position in the group with 8 points from 4 matches. And now into the world of tennis. Tennis icon Martina Navratilova has apologized for using the term cheating when discussing whether transgender athletes should be allowed to compete in women's sport. Navratilova, one of the most successful tennis players of all time, has been criticized as transphobic for writing that transgender women had unfair physical advantages over female opponents. On Saturday, former British swimmer Sharon Davies said that many current athletes feel the same way and that trans athletes should not compete in female events to protect women's sport. Athlete Eli, a US-based organization campaigns for LGBT sports people, cut its links with Navratilova in the wake of the 62-year-old original comments saying they perpetuate dangerous myths. Residents of Bangba Market in Ijayi axis of Belkuta have beckoned on appropriate authorities to remove the corpse of a drowned young boy lying by the riverside. According to some residents and traders in the area, the boy drowned in the river around 2 p.m. on Saturday in the company of two friends who fled the scene immediately after the incident.
Nǹkan bíi aago méjì ni à ń kírun lọ́wọ́ ni là ń gbọ́ lára àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n pọ̀ lórí bíríìjì yẹn. Ìgbà tá a débẹ̀ tèrò pọ̀ ńbẹ̀ ṣá, so ọwọ́ náà kan pọ̀ wọn mẹ́ta ni pọ̀ kan àwọn méjì ti sá lọ báyìí wípé ẹnìkan ṣì wà nù omi àdẹ̀rí aráṣọ láti pé bóyá èèyàn wà ńbẹ̀ tó yẹ pé àwọn ọmọ yẹn bá dúró nísìn a lè sọ pé bóyá lóòótọ́ ni èèyàn wà ńbẹ̀ àdẹ̀fí bá àdẹ̀ ṣe rí pé wọ́n ní gbòdì ìrìn wọ́n rí èèyàn ńbẹ̀.
Aago méjì la gbọ́ sí ọkàn pariwo pé ọmọ kan kó sódò akínúbà kó sódò mẹ́ẹ̀ tá a máa débẹ̀ àrí àwọn ará ẹ̀ méjì kan tó ti sá lọ wọn náà wà ń salẹ̀ ńbẹ̀ àdètú sí àrí pé àrò ẹ̀ pé èèyàn wà ńbẹ̀ ìbá tó ìjọ kejì náà dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ní èèyàn kú sómi yẹn wọ́n ti gbé ìwọ sí ẹgbẹ́ kan di odò ńbẹ̀.
Spoke behind camera said they have not gotten any information of the missing child in the neighborhood. They, however, requested the government's support towards evacuating the corpse, which was removed after 24 hours of drowning. Well, let's quickly take a look at the weather forecast for Monday. And as the 2019 general elections continues, let's all be magnanimous in victory and gallant in defeat. And that's it on the news at this hour. Many thanks to you for watching. Good night.